Welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees for the West Ada School District. It is Monday, September 22nd, 2025 at 6:02 p.m. This evening, we are very fortunate to have Pioneer School of the Arts here to lead us in the pledge. Will everyone please stand?
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job. If you guys want to stand there for just 1 minute, our clerk's going to take a picture of you for our Instagram page. Is everybody up? Thank you so much. Good job.
Good job. Thanks, guys.
Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
Madam Chair, there are none.
All right, before I turn the time over to Dr. Bubb, if I could take a moment. We've had events over the last 2 weeks that have been very detrimental to our country and specifically to our area. We have a lot of patrons of West Ada and former patrons that are students down at UVU and in the Provo area, and are mindful of what this experience has been to them and their families, for all of us, to our nation, and really to the world. And so if you would all join me in just taking a moment of silence, I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. With that, we'll turn the time over to Dr. Bubb.
Madam Chair, trustees, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jacobs to talk a little bit about the great things going on at Pioneer and some of the work they're doing over there.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Chair Frazier, trustees, and Dr. Bubb. I appreciate tonight's opportunity to highlight some of the great things that we have going on at Pioneer. As Trustee Redford would tell you, as she's a valued member of the Pioneer community, that I could brag about Pioneer for as long as you'd let me, but that's not the case tonight. So I have a little bit to share with you guys. In 16 years of service to this school, I have learned one thing, that our heart is in the amazing students, our engaged families, and I can't emphasize this enough, the tremendously selfless, dedicated, and talented group of teachers and support staff that I'm lucky to work with every day. I firmly believe they're second to none, and they are what make Pioneer a place that kids thrive. When I was asked to think about some things that I was most proud of in this last year, I think about how our students grew as readers and as problem solvers. Evidence of this, of course, takes many forms, some of which are the IRI, iReady, and ISAT. Last year, 90% of our K-3 students were on or above grade level in reading. A major accomplishment, as it was the first time our school hit that target school-wide. And we're set up for continued success with 97% of our kindergartners proficient or advanced. That is incredible, and it came from the hard work and a focus from the school and the district on early literacy, but more importantly, the tremendous work of our teachers. In math, where we're asking students to apply increasingly complex computation and applied problem-solving skills, 85% of our K-5 students were on or above grade level in math. Again, this is the direct result of outstanding classroom instruction, students that own and value their learning, and the impact our families have in these outcomes through their consistent encouragement and support. Whether it's reading with their kids, helping with homework, having meaningful discussions, or just putting them in a place where they can succeed, these numbers represent a lot of hard work from those kids, families, and teachers. It really shows the strength and support of our entire school community, but like all West Ada schools, we are so much more than just numbers. At Pioneer, one of the many things that make our school special is the role arts integration plays in our students' achievement. In the classroom, whenever possible, our teachers use the arts as a vehicle for learning, not just about math or reading or science or social studies, but also about the arts themselves. That dual focus creates hands-on experiences that anchor students' learning in memorable ways. As a result of this approach, students have opportunities to transfer what they've learned into new situations, which help them retain and apply these concepts and skills. Learning in Pioneer classrooms is creative, meaningful, and truly engaging. Building on what happens in the classroom, students at Pioneer also have dedicated opportunities to dive deeply into the arts. Whether it's piano and composition, band, choir, orchestra, or the visual arts, our students are developing both foundational and advanced artistic abilities. Through these programs, they get to bring their learning to life through performance and presentation, highlighting a number of our super learner powers, especially the R in super being a risk taker. Additionally, specialist teachers try to make an effort to bring learning full circle, connecting what students explore in the arts back with their classroom content whenever possible. Finally, a natural extension of both classroom learning and our specialist art classes are our grade level performances that our students get to perform on the big stage under those bright lights over at Centennial Performing Arts Center, thanks to a valuable relationship with Centennial High School. These are high quality, student-led performances connected to a theme or content students have studied throughout the year. They are the culmination of learning in both the classroom and our music and arts classes. The success of these performances is not accidental. It reflects careful planning, thoughtful implementation by our music and classroom teachers throughout the entire year. Seeing the students bring it all together up on that stage is a highlight of the year, and a perfect example of arts integration in action that's only possible because of educators who go well above and beyond the call of duty. As we wrap up, I share this picture from spring of over 80 2025 high school graduates who had attended Pioneer during elementary school, representing more than 10 high schools from in and out of West Ada. It means so much that so many graduates, many of whom I can still picture as bright-eyed kindergartners, who came back and made that effort to be there to walk the halls where their learning began, to inspire and be celebrated by the next generation of West Ada scholars. Moments like this are why we do what we do, and why I've loved each of my 16 years supporting Pioneer School of the Arts in a district that supports our vision. On behalf of the Pioneer School of the Arts community, our eager students, our engaged families, our exceptional teachers and staff, I share our appreciation for the board and the district leadership that make this all possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It is so fun to get to hear about one of the elementary schools. We get to hear about the high school so frequently, which is fantastic. This is lovely. I know Trustee Redford would like to make a comment.
I'll try not to be emotional. I've had 4 kids. I have one currently at Pioneer who have gone through Pioneer. Every single one of their teachers has been wonderful. I might be biased, but I do think Pioneer is the best elementary school in the district. It has been a pleasure having my kids there. And this past year, oh shoot, okay. This school year has brought some unique challenges for my child that is there, who's struggling with a really scary health issue. And I have just been so overwhelmed by the compassion and the love and the caring that I have felt from Mr. Jacobs and the school counselor and his teacher. You guys really do represent the best of West Ada. So thank you. Thank you for all that you've done for my kids and my family.
I think that concludes our comments. Thank you so much.
Well, Madam Chair, trustees, to follow that up, we get to welcome up Eagle High School, so we get the other end of it. Hopefully, one of you guys are graduates of Pioneer. We'll get to hear a whole lot about Eagle High School.
Good evening, Chair Frazier, trustees, and Dr. Bubb. I'm Brandy McCarney. I'm the new Student Council Advisor at Eagle High School. I took over from Brittany Dutton last year. Today we are here to report on all the wonderful things going on at Eagle High School. We're really working to try and change the culture of the school and to build a stronger student body. By doing that, we've started a theme, so every month we are doing a Just Be. So just be loving, just be thankful. But we started the year off with Just Be Eagle, which is our motto for the school year. One of our very talented sophomores designed this bulletin board that's in the front of our school, so when you walk in the door, you can see Just Be Eagle, and all of our teachers on Fridays are encouraged to wear their Just Be Eagle shirts, just to be welcoming of all of our students and staff and to know that everyone there is where they're supposed to be and that we are just Eagle. It is my pleasure and privilege to introduce my wonderful co-presidents this year, Sarah Kemp and Ray Gauthier. They're doing wonderful, incredible things, and they are going to take it over. Thank you.
So we'll be starting with our council achievements. We'll start off with our leadership summit. So we were very lucky to be able to go to the Leadership Summit recently, and we learned so much at Vertical View, and it was such a great spot to do it. The entire council had fun. Pretty much the entire council was in attendance, which is huge for our student council. Not to say that we don't always go to events, but this was, I think, it really helped our council grow, and I'm super glad that everybody was able to go. We debriefed after the event and got very good positive feedback about the conference from our kids and our student council and also our advisors and things, and just overall super great attendance. We really love to learn. Eagle, me and Sarah were actually able to present a breakout session with Centennial High School where we separated groups into dances, fundraising, big events, and then assemblies and pep rallies. And I think we got feedback that that was one of the most influential breakout sessions we had because it was just event driven. All we learned about was just events, how we can grow attendance and spirit and culture, and that's always something that every school can work on. Take this one too. So we were actually really lucky in this last year to win a National Council of Excellence Award nationwide for our student council in the entirety of 2024. This is a huge achievement. It's the first year we've won a national award like this. But lucky for us, this year at freshman orientation, we were interviewed by Channel 6 to talk about our roles as leaders and also just the National Council of Excellence Award and how we obtained it and what it really means to us and how we're going to kind of grow from that and keep working forward. So I'd like to thank Hadley Smith and Will Cantwell for leading our current NASC board report as historians.
I'm lucky because I get to present about homecoming. Homecoming is one of our biggest events. It was divided into 3 different things this year: Spirit Week, Assembly, and Parade. This year's Spirit Week was amazing. We had, Monday was Camo Day. It's kind of our trademark Eagle thing. Tuesday was Jersey Day, Wednesday was Adam Sandler, which is always a crowd favorite. Thursday was Country vs. Country Club, and Friday was Whiteout. The Whiteout theme just goes through the whole day. It goes to the football game where we do the chalk throw at halftime. It's kind of a tradition at Eagle High, hard to breathe for a few seconds, but it's really fun. Halls were decorated on the Saturday before homecoming week by each grade. It was a competition by each grade to see who could make their hall look the best and the prettiest. The theme this year was Golden Hour. Our assembly this year, we really look forward to our assemblies at Eagle because it's fun because it starts with band releasing each class by playing music down the halls, and we begin with Stand Gang teaching their cheers and some of their rules, kind of. And then cheer and dance do a hype performance. We started some new traditions that involved teachers more in our assemblies. This year we introduced a student versus teacher lip sync battle. Following the battle for Following the battle for homecoming court, we announced the winner and crowned them, and their most influential teacher was able to walk behind each kid. This year, we also partnered with Sources of Strength and did a class competition for decorating the gym for the assembly. The gym was decked out on golden hour themed posters and streamers to match the homecoming theme. Parade is also a big hit at halftime of the game. During halftime, all the cars are parked and each royalty gets to ride in the cars. The kids are voted by students and teachers, and they ride in cars borrowed from people in our community who we have to reach out to get them there. After royalty passes, we have different clubs and sports follow behind them with their signs and the club's name behind. After the parade, we have our student favorite event, the chalk throw, which I already talked about. Students can buy chalk and white t-shirts beforehand, and we throw it all up at the same time.
Okay, I think I have one more slide for you. So this is just sports. Just an overall, we have had a great year with sports so far. Obviously, it's pretty early in the year, so not everything is started up, but football is doing good. So far 3-0, but I think we can update this to 4-0 because of Friday. And volleyball is 2-2, so we're overall doing really great. We have great attendance, great spirit that comes from our sports, and we're super lucky to have our great coaches and players who are always willing to play and just bring us entertainment and great spirit and culture to our school. Thank you.
Well, don't go far. We want to get a picture with you, but I also have to say, your parade at the homecoming, it's my favorite. I mean, it's so fun. I know David and I were there, and it was a blast. But anyway, great job. And if you'll come up, we'd like to get a picture with you.
Okay, up next, speaking of athletics and activities, I'm going to bring up Jason Warren. As he's walking up, I'm going to celebrate him. I get to celebrate him 3 times a year. It's usually at these meetings. But he has been really the brainchild behind the athletics activities raffle. This raffle has been, I believe, the highest raffle that we've had thus far, raising over $500,000 for 1/3 of the town. Jason has an art for making deals and making this happen for our community, so thank you very much for all your work on this.
Dr. Bub, don't make me blush. Chairman Frazier, board members, Dr. Bub, it's always a pleasure to be here and talk about the good things that are happening in our district. Excited to be here tonight as we select the finalists for our 2025 fall raffle supporting West Ada extracurricular programs. Tonight we will select 10 finalists who will be invited to one of our varsity football games on October 3rd. That site will kind of be determined based on maybe who we select here tonight. That evening will be a true celebration. Every finalist will win one prize valued at $500 or more, leading up to our grand prize, a 2025 Ford Ranger valued at $35,000, generously donated by Kendall Auto Group. We have 3 prizes worth more than $7,500, so it promises to be an unforgettable night. As Dr. Bub just mentioned, this fall raffle has been a huge win for our district. Together, our programs raised $547,000, the largest amount in our short history of running raffles. What makes this raffle so powerful is that almost every dollar raised by a program stayed with that program. Whether it was athletics, fine arts, or student clubs, students and advisors knew that their efforts directly benefited their own school and program. That sense of ownership and reward has been a game changer for participation and motivation across our schools. Even more meaningful, many schools have shared stories about how the money raised has made a difference for families, covering the costs of uniforms, instruments, competition fees, and travel is not easy, and these funds have taken the weights off families' shoulders. It's been encouraging to hear athletic directors and advisors say the raffle has provided opportunities for kids who otherwise might not have been able to participate. That's the heart of what's making this effort so important. So with the buy 4 tickets, get a 5th free option, we had 12,449 total entries in this drawing. Marcus Myers and Amy White both have copies of the master list with all the ticket numbers recorded. Each ticket is tied to a number between 1 and 12,449. We're going to use randomizer.org to select our 10 finalists. Ken Hyde has my computer screen up on the monitor so everybody can watch as I click the button to randomize numbers. The first 10 numbers will be generated from our finalists. I'll read the number out loud. Marcus will read the name connected to it, and Amy will confirm the number just so we get it on record. The finalists will receive event details directly, and their names will be posted on our West Data website. So let's do this. So as you can see, we're going to generate one set of numbers between 1 and 12,449. And here we go. Let's randomize. Someone's going to win a car. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Does that look correct? Okay, so I'm going to work backwards. Let's go 2,156.
Natasha Fluke.
Okay, accurate. 9,832.
Shannon Halpin.
Okay. 10,682.
Ronald Bottomley.
Correct.
8,167.
Corey Hall.
Correct.
Okay. 1,019.
Max Leishman.
Okay, listen, it's okay. We'd rather it be right. 8,387.
Greg White.
What was it?
387.
It's not doing it. Greg White, yes.
Okay. 11,756.
Brian Gray.
Correct.
Okay. 12,212.
Kelly Jensen.
Correct.
Okay. 7,669.
Cassie Beraldo.
Correct?
And the last one would be 1,102.
Dan Vosser.
Okay.
We're just having a little bit of
You're all right.
technical
We are all
difficulties.
right.
Dan Voss, correct.
Thank you. All right, so I will be contacting these 10 finalists, and we'll be set up for that event on October 3rd. Sarah will let the board members, you're more than welcome. It is the coolest event. If you haven't been to it, to watch somebody's face and to see them celebrate. And 2 years ago, we gave a car and the lady cried because her car had just broke down. And that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. So just a side note, I think this total, and this is the start of our 4th year, I think we just went over $2.5 million that we've raised for our schools. So we'll be back in January. Thank you. Any questions?
No, thank you so much. Well, I mean, not just for our schools, but that's gone directly to students. I mean,
Directly
that's
to
what I think is
programs.
amazing. I mean, kids are funding their activities, their athletics, they can do this, so that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Bubb, you've changed positions.
Madam Chair, trustees, this is, I'm going to try to make this as exciting as giving a car away. We'll be close. We are going to introduce our new Chief Communications Officer, our recommendation for that. Before we get into that, I'd like to thank Nikki Sheppers and the work that she provided for our district. She had 7 years of dedicated service, her expertise and passion, strengthening West Ada's brand and helping our district move forward are what she will leave behind. Her leadership and commitment to every position that she held has left an indelible impact on our schools, our staff, and our community. On behalf of West Ada School District, we sincerely thank Nikki. We hope she's not watching this right now, for her service, and we wish her nothing but the best in the next of her administration. A little bit about this interview process. I want to thank some people that took a lot of time out of their days to make this happen. I'd like to thank our communications team, who is here in attendance, our executive team, Chair Frazier, for their thoughtful input throughout this process. It was evident throughout the process that this role was one of high importance for everybody involved. Today, we couldn't be more excited to recommend Michelle Edmonds as the next Chief Communications Officer for West Ada. Michelle is an award-winning journalist and a community leader with more than 25 years of experience in media and public engagement. She has spent nearly 2 decades telling Idaho's education story, building trusted relationships with public officials, educators, and families, and earning a reputation as a strategic communicator and advisor. Michelle is deeply connected to West Ada, not only professionally, but personally, as her 2 children are graduates of the district. Her understanding of our community and her proven ability to build trust, communicate transparently, and elevate the work of educators make her an outstanding choice to lead our communications efforts. We are thrilled to welcome Michelle to the executive leadership team and look forward to her expertise and passion she will bring to this role. Ms. Edmonds is here today and would love to say a few words to the board.
Chair Frazier, trustees, executive team, Dr. Bubb, thank you so much. I have spent, as he said, decades as a communications leader. I've spent that same amount of time as a dedicated education reporter. What you all do as a unit matters every single day, and I would be honored to join you. This opportunity, I've been saying all along, brings me full circle. You see, my dad was a public high school teacher. He taught math, which I hated. He taught history, which I loved. And he would be super proud of me if I were to take this role. I thought I was going to become a teacher, actually. I went to UC Davis and became a history major, and thought I was going to do that until the journalism bug got me about my senior year. and I learned that I could live current events instead of study history in books. But then I got to educate people every single day, viewers, taking a story, making it understandable and simple, and then teaching them about it that night. And I loved my job. But a few years back, when I had teenagers, 2 of them who I adore, I decided I needed for the first time to step away. I left my career that I loved because I wanted to devote my time to my family. It was the best decision I ever made. I am now an empty nester. My 2 kids, Sydney, graduated just this past May, Camden a couple of years before. And when this opportunity came about, I knew that I fit with the mission and the passion of this school district. I said all along to the executive team as I interviewed, I wasn't looking for a job. I hope I might have one tonight. You see, it's educators who do the work that I want to put the spotlight on. One quick story. There is a retired Siena elementary teacher. Her name is Judy Peer. My children had her for 3rd grade. These educators don't just come in our lives for 1 classroom session or maybe 2. Judy Peer attended Sydney's graduation party because Sydney invited her. And when she walked into our backyard, she gave my daughter a huge hug and said, "Guess what? Now you can call me Judy." And Sydney said, "That is so weird. I'm not going to call you Judy. You're still Ms. Peer." But I am so excited. I am so thrilled that not only does this role fit me professionally, but it fits me personally. I love this school district. I believe in its mission. And I am very, very excited to be West Ada proud. Chair Frazier, trustees, I stand for any questions you may have.
Any comments? Well, I'll make one. I've lived here for 20 years, and I got to watch you all those years on the news, Channel 6. No, I remember, and you did an excellent job, and when you applied for this job, I am always very blessed to get to attend some of these special events, and was very impressed with what you're all seeing this evening. It was your love and your passion for your family, for our community, and for the district, because those all go hand in hand. I might know someone else in this picture who I have quite a bit of respect for as well. And the thought of having more of that at West Ada is fantastic. So I'm excited to work with you. The mission of really telling our story is something that is of great value to the board, and we are excited to move forward. So thank you. I think that's all. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
All right, that will take us, so much better with glasses, to patron input. I do want to remind everybody that this portion of patron input is in accordance with what is agendized, that we always want to keep it to that 2-minute mark, just so it's fair to everybody. And we want to keep it to that high level. So we talk about policy, we talk about procedure, we don't talk about individuals. If for any reason there's something specific you'd like to get to that kind of falls off that mark, feel free to email any of us directly, or if it goes over, feel free to email us directly as well. With that, we'll go to the one person that did sign up this evening, which is Lisa Calloway. If you could come up, Lisa, and I know it sounds silly, but state your name again, and then to which policy you're speaking to, that would be great.
Okay. Lisa Calloway, and I'm speaking to policy 716.10. Chair Frazier, Board of Trustees, Dr. Bubb, and our West Ada exec team, thank you for being here. I'm speaking tonight regarding the process, or excuse me, the first reading of policy 716.10, AR number 1, which governs the process of decommissioning school facilities. And I appreciate the 3 steps that are currently outlined in that policy, which indicates a presentation to the board after each step. My suggestion would be to consider revising this policy to add some more specific language about if there's going to be a minimum amount of time between each of the 3 steps, as well as a recommendation for a cutoff date for the final decision being made in this process. As written, it's unclear to me if all 3 steps could be completed within just a few months, or if this would be a process that takes half a year or longer. As for a cutoff date, I wonder if there could be language requiring that a final decision be made regarding the decommissioning of a school that gives families, students, and staff ample time to prepare for the coming school year. I know you're not decommissioning schools every day, but if this decision were to be made in November versus May, that's a really big difference to our families and our students and our staff. So thank you for considering those revisions.
Thank you. Sorry, I was taking notes. Appreciate that. All right, that concludes those that have signed up this evening for patron input. With that, it takes us to consent agenda. I'm open to a motion. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we accept the consent agenda unanimously.
Is there a second? Trustee Redford.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Welcome, Ms. Edmonds. All right, that takes us to old business, and we are welcomed up Ms. Amy White to take us through policy 20302.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Trustees, and Dr. Bub. Tonight we have policy 203.02 before us for a fourth reading, which is a bit unusual for us. Normally we're at 3, but there were enough changes in this policy between the various readings that we have brought it back for a fourth time. It's the committee's recommendation that this be approved tonight if you are so inclined and have no other changes to it. Just a little bit of history on this. This all started with the legislature changing Idaho Code 33508 this last legislative session when they expanded public input. Previously it was just on agendized items, and now it is more open. And once we got this policy open, as you see from the green and red, we just went from there, didn't we? Unlike the last reading where we had 2 different shades of green, a shade of blue, and a shade of pink, this time we're back to our standard format where red strike through is what we are removing from our existing policy, and the green shaded area is the new material. Just to do a higher review of that with you, what we have done is address the governing procedure for patron input, addressing the 6 step process there, being a current member or a current resident, staff member, enrolled student, or parent or guardian of an enrolled student, confirming that they reside within the boundary of our school district unless they fall within the exceptions that I just detailed there as far as the current staff member, parent or guardian. The agendized business that they are covering, presenting in a respectful manner, not referring to any specific individuals, and up to 2 minutes with the additional discretion of the chairman to add to that. We do address the fact that trustees will not directly be responding to patron input at this time, but they may address and direct it to others. And what that is addressing is the open meeting laws and making sure we're not addressing matters that are not fully agendized. We then have the governing procedures for adding new business items, again in our red and green format, the items that we have added and those that we have taken away. Again, expanding to include current staff member, enrolled student, parent, guardian of an enrolled student as someone who may seek to add matters onto our agendized items. And last, the main change was adding our governing procedure for good of the order. This was where 33508 really came into being in our policy, where the legislature expanded open public input to subjects beyond the agendized matters. This is where we address that here in our agenda. And with that, I will stand for any questions, comments, or edits that you might have on this.
Any comments or questions? Well, I really appreciate this going 4 readings. There was a lot to make sure it was right, so thank you for all the time that took to policy committee. I'm open to a motion. Trustee Bonet.
I move that we accept policy 203.02, agenda as presented by General Counsel Amy White.
Do we have a second? Trustee Redford.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. That takes us to a first reading of 71610 by Dr. David Reinhardt.
Madam Chair, Trustees, Dr. Bubb, I am here to present the first reading of Policy 716, School Decommissioning. The draft of this policy establishes the Board of Trustees' authority and responsibility to decommission schools when deemed necessary to ensure the district maintains a thorough and efficient public school education system. It directs the superintendent or designee to create procedures for regularly reviewing all facilities, when appropriate, presenting a recommendation and detailed report to the board. These reports must outline the decommissioning process, address the disposition of the property, include a recommendation for a timeline, and incorporate meaningful staff and community input. Final decisions rest with the board, with all recommendations aligned to Idaho Code and the Idaho Administrative Procedures Act. I will also read Administrative Regulation 716.10, School Decommissioning. The accompanying administrative regulation provides the operational framework for carrying out this policy. It specifies the superintendent's role in conducting periodic facility reviews, gathering broad stakeholder feedback, and compiling thorough reports that detail timelines, community engagement, and property disposition options. The regulation ensures transparency and consistency in the process, requiring revisions based on community input prior to board action. In this way, the regulation translates the policy's intent into clear, practical steps that the district is responsible in managing school decommissioning decisions. I stand for any questions.
Any questions or comments? Trustee Benetti?
Dr. Reinhardt, we heard today from a patron that had talked about potentially some minimum timeline requirements. We haven't discussed that specifically in the policy review committee meeting, but it seems to me something worthwhile. Can we have that on the agenda for the next time that we discuss this policy, that might determine when and if we should put some additional guidelines around timelines and deadlines and introduction and so forth?
Madam Chair, Trustee Benetti, certainly.
Any other comments or questions? All right, thank you so much. That moves us to our next item, which is executive session, and I'm open to a motion. Trustee Redford.
I move that the board enter into executive session per Idaho Code 74-2061B to consider the evaluation, dismissal, or disciplining of, or to hear complaints or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent or public school student.
Is there a second? Trustee Benetti.
Second?
We will do a roll call vote for this. Trustee Benetti.
Aye.
Trustee Redford.
Aye.
Vice Chair Zuna.
Aye.
And Chair votes aye. We will move into executive session. It passes 4-0 at 6:44. resume open session at 6:57 PM. I am open to a motion. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we approve administration's decision to place employee A on administrative leave and to continue such leave until a new recommendation is brought before the board.
Is there a second? Trustee Redford?
Second.
I think we discussed this one. No discussion, right? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. We haven't had anyone sign up for good of the order tonight, but I wanted to leave my mic on and and once again declare that there is a vacancy in Zone 2. West Ada has done a great job of getting that out on social media. They have it on the website. It's been put in the newsletter, which has been sent out to parents and can always be accessed on the website as well. But just to remind everybody, the date, September 16th was when that application window opened. September 30th is when applications must be submitted, no later than by 6 p.m. It is a Tuesday, if anybody's wondering. When you go on the website, West Ada's, click on trustees, and right there it lists the vacancy. You click on that, it goes through all of the qualifications that are necessary, the zone, where those streets are. That would be hard for me to explain right now, but just want to encourage anybody that thinks that's the right fit for them to please come and do that. And there'll be more information listed as that window closes and we move forward. With that, any future agenda items? I'm open to a motion to adjourn. Trustee Redford.
Motion to adjourn, please.
Is there a second? Trustee Benetti.
Second.
Any deep discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. We will adjourn at 6:59 PM.